Hello all and welcome to the latest Craft Mania Sunday Showcase. Today I have a brand new collection of dies to share with you and lots of different ideas to hopefully give you some inspiration. But before we move on to those, I just want to show you these. These are brand new kits that we've been doing here and they've launched this week. We've got 4 different titles and there's more to come. So if you haven't seen these might be a really nice idea for you to have a little go at. Basically what you're going to be getting is everything you need other than a few tools, so things like glues, knives, trimmers, bits like that, but you can view all of the information of what you need on our website per kit. But just to give you a quick overview of them, we have this one which is our staircase card and box set. This one's $7.99. We then have our lantern set, which is actually like a photo cube and you can pop pictures in these, or if you wanted to, Christmas decorations. A lot of people have been buying these to put on their Christmas tables, and then it opens at the top so you can store things inside it as well if you wish to. They're $15.99. Then we also have a little fireplace card and box set. This one's $6.99, and again in the kit you get all of the stamped images and that. You just need a few pens and some glitters and bits to decorate them with. And then lastly we have our shadow box card set, and this is our little box that does up with a bow at the front. This one's $7.99, and again this one gives you all your decoupages and pictures that you need, so not many things required for you to get going on them. So it doesn't matter if you live locally to the store or the other end of the country, we can post these to you and then you could actually create one of these at home on your own. Every one of them has full instructions in them, so hopefully there shouldn't be any questions, but if there is you can always get in contact with us and we'll do our best to answer them, but you should be absolutely fine. The reason I'm showing you these kits is one of the projects I've made today is actually inspired by our shadow box, and it's just trying to show you that once you've made this kit and you've got the idea down on how to create it, you could then use this in different shapes, colours, themes, etc. to do your own cards at home. So you'll see a completely different version but following the same idea from this one in a minute. So with the kits over, let's have a little look at what today's actual showcase is. So today we have a collection of Christmas dies to share with you. Now they've done something really original with this set that I've not seen before. You're actually going to notice this die in a little while in a different size. Same design, same format, but in a different size. So first of all we have the Christmas scene in our rectangle. This one's $12.99. We then have our free Christmas trees, which is $9.99. We then have our free edgeability dies. Now these are really lovely because they're actually set out in such a way that you can use them together if you wish to, or you can use them completely separately, or you can just use them to shape your cards. There really is so many options of what you can do with these, it's ridiculous. That one's $11.99. We then have a ribbon threading border, which is just really different, and I'll show you that shortly. We've never had anything quite like this one before. That one's only $10.99. And then the designer sheet at the beginning in the rectangle, this one is the square version, and that one is $15.99. Now lastly we have this one, which is our holly circle. This one's $15.99. Now if you buy all of the dies that I already just showed you, you'll actually get this one free. That's going to be your offer for this week. So if you do purchase all that lot individually, it'll cost you £66.95p, and you'll receive this one worth $15.99 completely free. So with that over, let's have a little look at some of the things I've made with these and hopefully give you a few ideas. So we're going to start off with this one. This is the one that I said actually led on from the kit we made. As you can see, comparing them, there's quite a big size difference between these. So once you have mastered the big one, you could of course do smaller, larger, whatever you wish to. So this is just inspired by that one. Now in here I've got our trees that you see in the actual dies that we're using today. And these layer really nicely. They're actually really lovely to work with. I'll be honest, when I ordered them I weren't so sure about them, and the more I've used them I really fell in love with them because they actually look like proper Christmas trees, proper forest style fir trees, and I really loved working with these. I've actually layered 4 on each of the 3 sizes. You can't see the little one because it's tucked in down there, but I like to fill out the boxes so if you do have a little look there's something from every angle to sort of entertain. That's the large tree, then we have the medium tree, and then obviously we've got the square frame actually in play in the front of the box, just hidden under the lid. Then at the very top we have one of the edgeables from our set. Now this is the top part here, the holly piece. You'll get to see the others in a little while used as well, but that's how I've made my little box and how I've decorated that one. Really easy to make but good fun. Moving on, I'll show you this one. Now this is actually the first card I made for this project today, and it's got a little bit of everything on here. So we've got the ribbon that's sliding border in the background. Now I haven't obviously put ribbon through it this time because I wanted to show you it looks really pretty without that as well. So I've just die cut this in sort of a peachy creamy colour, and then I've gone around all of my elements using tea dye distressing inks just to tone them down a bit and give you a bit of more of a vintage effect. At the top we have that same holly die again from the Edgeable set used, and at the bottom here you can see you've got that other one from that set, that's the base one. So I haven't used the middle piece of this yet, you'll see that shortly, but this is the bottom piece and the top piece. So as you can see you get a really different effect with them just using them separately, and it makes a really good stopper. Now of course, like all edgeables, we've spoke about this quite a bit before, the edgeable will actually stay on the card and it's down to you where you cut it off. So I've cut it off at about 1 centimetre, but you could have of course kept that on to the size of the card that you wish to use if you actually want it to appear from like the top of it or something like that. Or you can of course have them come up from the spine of a fold of a card to give you a different effect as well. Back onto this one, on the front here we have them little trees again. And this time we've got the large tree and the medium tree. I didn't use the little one for this, I've kept that for another project. And then on here we've got that wonderful die that you could get free if you buy all of the set. So that's your holly circle. Now worth noticing with this one is not only do you get the really delicate bit, you also get like a backing plate to it as well. And that is completely separate, so you could cut it out of a different colour if you wish to. On my one I've cut it out of the same peachy coloured card and then just distressed it a little heavier. I've then stamped in the middle using our new stamps. Now these are brand new. I haven't even put these on our Facebook page yet and I haven't yet made it anywhere else, so you're getting a first glimpse at these. These ones are $7.99 and you've got the little presents in the middle here which I've actually used in the middle of my holly circle, and then you've got the poinsettia that I've painted and layered down at the bottom here. I've painted mine with distress inks, just mixed them with a little bit of water to try and keep the colours quite muted. Used a lot of tea dye to paint in the presents, and then pine needles and aged mahogany for the bows and the flowers and the leaves. I've also used the Merry Christmas sentiment that comes off of this set as well. So it's a really nice little set to work with, and I really like the little holly pieces as well. There's a lot you could do with them, especially matching in with this set because there is holly cuts into so many of the different dies. It really works quite well in conjunction. The other stamp I've used isn't a Christmas stamp, but it is a brand new one. Another one that I haven't yet uploaded anywhere, so you're getting a first glimpse at this one too. But I really like the postcard from this. So I've just stamped that one, cut it out, painted in a few little details and just stressed around the edges and just plopped that in behind that as well. Moving on to my next card. Now this I thought was a little bit more sophisticated. Just a cream and black card, really quick and easy to do. I've taken that ribbon sliding cut in border and I have actually put ribbon through it. I've gone for cream, which might be a little bit more difficult for you to see on the video, but it is quite stylish and works quite well. You can just tuck it under at each end if you wish to, or of course you could skip more gaps or use brighter colours. The options really are endless for this, and although we've included it in a Christmas collection, I think it'd be really lovely for weddings as well. But it's one of them dies you could use for just about any occasion really. It doesn't have to be theme specific, it could just go to any reason. In the middle of this we then have our rectangle Christmas frame, and that's just simply cut out of black card and matted onto some pearl cream. So really quick and easy to do. Matching bow to match in with the colour of the ribbon and the border pieces, and that was job done really. So a really quick card to do, but hopefully you'll agree it looks quite stylish. Moving on to our next one. Now this is a bit more of a construction. Now I'll be honest, I actually made the box a little bit bigger than I intended to for the actual purpose of what I've done, but I think it ended up okay, so I hope you like it. On this one it's a completely different idea. The actual box, we'll chat about that for a moment. We have the border piece from that set, that's the base one again, and I've just cut two of them, cut them out separately and tucked them under a black piece of card as the spine of my actual box creases. They go all the way around. And then at the very top I've used the other one from that, that's the holly border, and I've just cut that out of white card and popped that under the top of my ribbon, going around the four sides of my box. Now I've gone a bit bling crazy with this one, so we've got quite a lot of peel-offs going on this. And then on the inside, if I just lift this up, we have our own little bauble. Now the bauble is made using the one that could be free if you buy all the whole set, or you can buy it individually. It's only $15.99. That's your holly circle. And also, I haven't mentioned this, but in the middle you get the little bells, which you can see hanging in the middle of my bauble. I do have a bit of a thing about making Christmas decorations, and I was really delighted to find that with this shape it is symmetrical, so you can just glue them back to back. So here I've got 5 different cuts, and I've just folded them in half and glued them back to back all the way around to make my shape. I've just glue gunned ribbon into the middle of it to hold it all up, so if you do want to take it off and hang it on a tree you can. And then I've used a little bit of cotton to hang in the middle my little bells. I've glittered it and blinged it just to give it a little bit more interest. And then it's attached to the box by this big bow at the top, and when you open that, that is then released so you can remove it and hang it on your tree if you wish to. I always like the idea of giving a bauble as a present. And of course with this box being a little bit larger, if you wanted to, you could pop some chocolates or something else in the bottom of it, or even a matching card. You really could add quite a lot to this if you wanted to make it an all-in-one gift card experience. In the bottom of my box you will see I've got a piece of paper. This is that poinsettia paper, which I think is just screaming out to be painted and coloured, but given the black and white colour scheme of my box and bauble, I thought it actually matched in quite nicely as is. But it's one of our new papers. Now again, you won't have seen these didn't arrive till late Friday, so we haven't actually uploaded these anywhere yet, but I've got a whole collection of these that you will be seeing appear on our Facebook page and our internet site over the next couple of weeks, but you're going to get a first look glimpse. So this is our first one. On the other side of that we just have some very festive wooden planks, as I'm sure you'll agree, but it is a lovely Christmas design, and as I say, you could really colour them, cut them out, layer them. There's lots of options you could do with those if you wish to. That paper is £1.9p if you do wish to have any of them held or ordered for you. Then moving on, we'll have a look at this front one. Now last week I did one of these and it was been really popularly received. We actually did a little booklet like this for less than a little while ago, and people are still ranting and raving over that one. And with these edger dies that we have today, I wanted to show you how well these would work for this. I know a lot of you bought the edger die on last week's showcase. If you did and you're looking at Christmas cards to do in the same system, this die is perfect for you. Because of it's got the 3 different pieces and they all layer perfectly, you can see that you've got that small one at the bottom here. Then if we flip to the next page, we have the first and last time I suppose you'll see just that middle piece, which is perfect for just cutting on the edge of your card and giving you that shaped effect. And then behind that we have the actual large top one here, the holly one. So I've left this quite plain inside, but you could of course add a lot more detail to it if you wanted to. But I more just wanted to show you how easy it would be to cut all your layers to make these little booklets out of those. Really nice as well if you're doing like a little memory book or a scrapbook for somebody for Christmas. What a lovely way to actually continue the theme with your dies as well. The paper for this one is another one of our new ones, another £1.9p sheet. They're double-sided again. You can see on the front of this one I've used my little postage stamps of Father Christmas and poinsettia and just layered them on the front here. On the back of it, again, we've got lots of really lovely holly, which is what I've used to decorate my pages. So I only used about 3/4 of a sheet to create this little booklet. And to be honest, there's a lot more you could do to dress this up if you wanted to, but it is quite muted and quite plain. So it is certainly an easy project to make if you wanted to do them yourself at home. On the edge I've used this ribbon. I really like this. It's one I found on the stand I didn't even know we'd got. We do so many ribbons in store, they sort of all blend into one a little bit when I look at them. I think I've got a problem really. But it's a really lovely ribbon. I know it's sort of quite a sheer one, but it's got these really nice tones down the side and the brown bit runs through the middle of it. This one's £1 a metre. But I thought it made a really lovely bow and the colours really matched in nicely with the shades used on the papers. Moving on to our next project. You can always tell if I've really liked the dies that I'm using because I just make loads and loads and loads of projects, and this is another one of them weeks. So I've got a little bit carried away and I've got another one hidden at the back here for you. This one's one of our dome fronted cards, just made out of an ordinary aperture card. It's a new size actually. These are our 8x8 aperture cards. But I've hacked mine about a bit just so I could use the window from it, but I didn't really want all the gap at the top and the bottom of it because it would make my trees in the middle fly in the air, and I didn't want to do that, so I cut them off top and bottom to match. I should have had that much gap either side of it, but it's just more I'm telling you this so you can see how easy it is to cut about aperture cards, so you can just use the bit you want from them and create completely different effects. So on this one, I've added acetate into the window of it, and then I've foam padded on the square frame to the outside. I've then used the medium tree from the tree set and layered up the actual tree that's on the corner of that die. So they can work really well in conjunction if you want to give more of a effect to it. And then under the actual dome, I have 3 trees. That's the small, the medium and the large. And I've layered all of those and foam padded them in place. Now, if you wanted to, you could quite easily add like a sleigh and reindeers or a bit of text at the top up here if you wanted to. But I didn't want to distort from you actually seeing how lovely this die and the trees are just in these little domes on their own. In the background, I've used one of our value papers. These ones only 49p, so really, really cheap. They're also on offer in both stores at the moment, where you can pick 12 papers for only £5, any 12 of the 49p papers. There's over 280 options, and about 50 of them are Christmas. So if you haven't been in and looked at them yet, really worth a little look. But there's so many hidden gems on them stands, and really good value as well. They are only single-sided, but at 49p we can't really grumble, can we? So that's just what I've used in the back of the dome, and then on the inside of the card as well. On the edge here, by the way, I've used one of the edgeables again, just as a little bit more of an interest, because it matches so nicely with the holly that's cut into the frame. And then on the very corner of this, I've got a ribbon. This is one of our new ribbons. Again, I haven't yet uploaded these. If you haven't been in store, we've had loads of new ribbons coming over the last week or so, and this is just one of them. This one's 56p a metre. Only comes in 2 colours, but really lovely, and certainly went in well with my night sky theme for this card. Moving on to another card. Now this one, I have to say, is a bit like my favourite one really. I have a bit of a thing for this whole sort of reindeer lodge style look, and this is what I was sort of aiming for with this one, if I can keep up with it, come back. So on this one we have obviously the gingham ribbon that sort of ties in quite well with that hunting lodge style. Now this one's only 25p a metre, so it's one of our value ribbons. If you've not seen them before, we do about 20 different ones of those at only 25p. And I've used it across a bar for my stopper. And then interestingly, this is the bit I really wanted to show you, was that really lovely die that we can thread the ribbon through. If you cut 2 of them, you can literally stick one on top of the other, how I have here, and the bars in the middle will match up perfectly. So you can then thread your ribbon through it, but you've then got a top and bottom interest to it as such, so you've got that sort of detail coming out of both sides if you wish to. And then I've just pushed mine together a little bit to give it this domed sort of effect, and then I could hang my little sentiment from it in the middle. So really easy to do, but I thought quite effective and quite stylish, and there's so much more you could do with these. You can imagine this on wedding cards with just a bow put in the middle and things like that. So if you're sort of beyond Christmas, that might be a good die to get anyway. Paper wise, we have another one of our brand new papers. That is where our deer and tree comes from. They're £1.9 again, because it's a double-sided one. Also has all the foliage on it that you can see at the top and the bottom of my card as well, just to match in. Again, you could really colour them if you wanted to, or paint them in. If you're not sort of a greyscale kind of person, you might want a bit more colour to it. Moving on to my next card. Now this time we've gone for a whole black and white monochrome feel. Now this time I've got that edger die. Now this is the one that's in the middle, so I've just used that and cut it out of black to put on the front of the top die, just to keep on that sort of black and white theme. In the middle we have the rectangle Christmas die, and then behind that I've just stuck a couple of trees on the back of my stepper, just to show that they can sort of be used as a background piece as well. At the very top of my card, underneath the acetate, you can see that I also have that other small edgeable as well, just so it all matches in quite nicely. And then at the very tip top we have this really nice polka dot ribbon, which to be honest reminds me of Minnie Mouse, but I also thought it looked quite like snow, so it sort of went in for Christmas as well. This one's only 45p a metre. Also comes in red and white, and we also do both of those in a thinner version as well. But I did quite like the black and white for the Christmassy snow effect. On to the next one. Promise, only 2 more to go. On this one, I've taken that round die, the one that you could get for free. I've cut 2 of them and I've stuck them either side to a piece of acetate. On the back of them, I've then used PVA glue and just pumped it into the holes and put over the top coloured glitter. Now when you use PVA, as long as you're using one that dries white, when the PVA dries, through the other side of it you'll get this really glossy style glitter because of the acetate's there, first of all, you've got that sort of shimmer of the acetate, and then when the PVA is dried, you get the really nice sparkle of the glitter come through. So a really nice technique. We actually did that as a Sunday Showcase video quite a while ago, so if you haven't actually seen that done before, you can watch it being done in a video if that's easier for you. I've then cut a large white frame and I've used 4 of my border dies and just foam padded them in so they're coming out the edges of that one. And really simple card to do, to be honest, but hopefully you'll agree it's quite effective. With that same idea and system, I did this one, which I really like. I just think it's quite a clean cut card. This time using the rectangle die. Same system again with the white PVA glue. By the way, if you haven't seen them before, I'm using the ultra fine little bottles that we sell for $1.49 in store to paint in the actual PVA into the holes. I did it with a paintbrush when I did it on a video that I was talking about a moment ago, but the bottles are a lot easier. You get a lot more control than trying to do it with a paintbrush. So if you are going to have a go at that, you might want to get one of those little bottles. Again, all I've done is cut an aperture out actually using the die itself. I've then used the black version of it to actually put onto the acetate, coloured it in, and then stuck it into the hole in the middle, and then just a sentiment stamp on the inside of it. And that concludes all of my cards today. So we'll just run through again your offer today as we whisk back towards the dies, and we'll give you a little scan over them again. So you can of course buy these individually if you wish to. You have the rectangle frame die for $12.99. You have the free trees for $9.99. The free edgeables, which give you lots of options, for $11.99. The ribbon threading border for $10.99. The square Christmas frame for $15.99, which of course you can buy all of them individually, or if you do wish to buy the whole lot, that would cost you £66.95. You would then get our circle holly die absolutely free. If you don't wish to buy all of them, you can of course buy the circle holly die on its own for $15.99. I hope you've enjoyed watching today's video. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask us in the comments and I'll do my very best to answer them. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all next week when we have another new video for you. Bye for now.